And somehow it got auto disconnected.
Hey Satish, sorry.
Yeah. So try loading it from the file and check whether it works or not.
File instance, Satish, I did not get actually.
So through the ETL, you can even process the flat files, right?
No, actually the use case is basically the
No,
table
I got
is,
it. Table to table mapping, and you wanted to load from source to target.
Correct. The table is located in ERP.
ERP, that is fine. Now what I want you to tell is download the file from ERP or table and process that file through your ETL tool.
Okay. So that file will be residing in my local.
The file will be residing in your ETL. You can process the flat files even through ETL, right? At least Informatica, I know that you can process.
I'm not sure exactly because it is a SAP ECC system which is having a table defined, and it I don't know. Basically, I did not explore on that position, but let me try that.
Okay, that is fine. I think we can check. We can share the screenshots. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Let us proceed. You see, the file has been unloaded. You can see the data has been unloaded. Now, if you want, you can use this get statement. Before using the get statement, is there you're able to still see my screen, right? Okay.
So this you can see.
Yeah. Now list it the same thing. Instead of multiple files, you will be seeing only one file. Why is it not there? You unloaded. Let me list this. See, there is only one file present. All that 22 GB of data is being unloaded into one file. Previously, it was 400 plus files. Now, using the get statement, you can unload this particular file in the stage to your local. Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, that's it on this. Let us talk about Snowpipe. Let us talk about Snowpipe. May I stop sharing for a second? Anyone of you have already access to Amazon S3 or something? Anyone of you?
No, Satish. Actually, that trial version got ended actually.
Not Snowflake. I'm talking about AWS or Azure or GC.
Yeah, AWS. Yeah, AWS only. We had one trial version, but it got expired actually.
Oh, okay. But it stays for 1 year, right? Usually.
I need to check actually that.
Your Amazon will stay for 1 year.
Okay.
Let us see.
Actually, I forgot the credentials.
Okay.
I used, but recently I'm not used. That's why I'm just checking out.
Then let me log into AWS. I'm logging in. I'm able to log in. Let us. When did I log into AWS Market? When do we use Snowpipe? Snowpipe we use for continuous data load. That is, whenever the files come to your Amazon S3, let's say this is the bucket. Whenever I place a new file in this folder, there is a customer. If I place a new file, automatically the file should be loaded into my table. So this practical probably I may not be able to do because it takes a lot of time to configure. So I will tell you how it will be done usually. Now for that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to this ingest data we already have done. Okay, I'm creating or replacing a stage. Let me select the database, ingest database. If you see, this stage will have two files, the same things which I have shown you last time as well. One CSV, it has two files. One CSV, one TA. Okay, transactions one CSV and transactions two CSV. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a table. Now once you create a table, what you are going to do is for Snowpipe, we are going to create a pipe. And that pipe, I'm giving a name transaction pipe. Auto ingestion is equal to true. As copy into this table from where? From the stage we created. This is the stage we create. And then you are going to specify the file form. Basically, your Snowpipe is nothing but it consists of a copy command. To which table you need to copy and from which stage you need to copy. So let me create this pipe. Now, once you have that pipe, okay, you just specify what is the show pipes. Execute this command. Once you execute this command, we have something called a notification channel. you can see there's a notification channel. Copy this notification channel. This notification channel, you get it once you create a pipe in your Snowflake. Take that pipe. Okay. Take the pipe. Go to your Amazon S3. Let's say if this is the folder, when the data comes, I want the data to be inserted. I mean, auto ingested. Then what you do? Click on this folder or folder. Go to this folder, and there is something called properties. In properties, come back, come down. You have event notification. Create a new event notification. Give event notification, okay, name and all. Okay. When that notification be created, when you put the files. When you put the files, the notification should be created. And that notification will be destination is SQSQ and enter the SQSQ error. Whatever we got it from the Snowflake, you enter here. If you observe, what we got from the Snowflake, that notification channel is nothing but your SQSQ. ARN, SQSQ error. This is how we are going to link that particular folder with respect to our Snowflake. Now, once you set up this, what will happen? Whenever a new file comes, I insert a new file. Once I insert a new file, that notification channel will be triggered. If I go to an architecture, I'm going to place the file into my Amazon S3. Then a SQS event notification will be triggered. What that notification will do, it goes and triggers the Snowpipe. Snowpipe is nothing but it's a copy command. Copy command, and when you defined a Snowflake, you mentioned to which table you wanted to load through which stage. So when the new file comes, okay, when the new file is placed, that file content, automatically flows into your Amazon S3 stage. The stage what we created. If you see, stage is nothing but you already mentioned what would be the URL. We mentioned auto ingest is true, so the pipe will be triggered and the file will be loaded. Yeah.
Satish is Venkat. Sorry to disturb. See, what is the time interval? What is the frequency to get real time in the sense nanosecond or millisecond? What kind of data you will receive?
As soon as the file comes, it gets triggered.
Okay.
Usually for 5 minutes data loads, or even for half an hour data loads, you can use Snowpipe.
Okay. Okay, Satish.
Okay. So usually, in case if you are loading once a day, or no need to have it as a Snowpipe, use the batch process. Why is that? Is when you use a Snowpipe, the main difference between the copy command that Snowflake uses is and the copy command you run. Snowpipe uses its own compute resources. Okay. Whereas your copy command, whatever it uses our virtual warehouse. When it uses a virtual warehouse, you have the authority. Like you can set what would be the size of the warehouse. Okay, and you can monitor easily. Even whatever is a Snowflake is using, you can monitor, but you have an authority. You can set up the resource monitoring. first important thing is you can monitor by setting up a resource monitors for your virtual warehouses. But if Snowpipe is being used, there will be an entry in the usage, something with Snowpipe services, and credits will be mentioned here. The issue with that is it's well and good that Snowpipe it uses its what we can say Snowflake's own resources and all. The only thing is you will not be able to have the monitoring on it. After loading, you can track because there are credits and all. The only thing is you cannot have a resource monitoring done on Snowpipe. This is the biggest difference between continuous data loading and bulk data loading. If I talk about
What you say is that in case if I receive a bulk data, maybe for example, I am doing a 5 minutes interval. Maybe next fifth minute I got a bulk data. It may use the warehouse, huge warehouse for the computation, right?
no. Both are different. The bulk data loading is when you use it is, let's say your reports should be updated once a day. So you get a files throughout a day. For example, let's talk about your sales order store. You are maintaining some retail store. In the report, you wanted to see until yesterday's data. You are not taking a look at today's data because today's sales is in progress. Then what you will do usually, whatever is today's files and all, you collect and you process all the files at midnight or at around morning 4 o'clock, so that the reports are available, the report data is available when the users or customers logging at 9 o'clock. That is bulk data load. When do you go for continuous data load? You wanted to track today's sales also. That means whenever the file comes, you want to process. That is when we use continuous data load. We use Snowpipe. Here we use copy. Here it uses virtual warehouse. Here it uses Snowflake compute. Any confusion? When do we go for bulk data loading and when do we go for continuous data load?
No, I got it, Satish.
Okay, so if there is no proper use case of continuous data load, then Snowflake itself recommends that we go for bulk data load. Okay.
But
remember,
the
in continuous
cost
data
will
loading,
be
in continuous data
cost.
loading. 1 second, just a second.
Yeah.
It's better only when there are smaller files. Okay. Whereas in bulk loading, you can process bigger files. With respect to cost, it may be similar. If you are processing the data from Snowpipe, if you are processing the data from continuous, using a copy command, the cost can be similar. But what will happen is in bulk data loading, when you are using a copy command, it uses a virtual warehouse. You can set up a resource monitor. After this particular threshold, don't process the files because your compute resources will be stopped or you'll get an alerts. That kind of mechanism is not there for the Snowpipe, right? Let's say someone by mistake kept on sending files every 1 minute and your Snowflake keep processing that 1 minute. At the end of the day, if you see, all that is not required data. Or some manual intervention, you kept on getting the files and Snowflake process, and you determined at the end of the day after some time that all those files are not needed. There unnecessarily we are losing the compute resources, right? Whereas in a virtual warehouse, in a bulk data loading, if you had a resource monitor, if after certain credits are consumed, you will get an alerts. You got it?
Yeah. It's so Snowpipe is kind of a job processing, or how it will be, Satish?
When you say job processing, what is that?
Job processing in the sense, say, I might require for maybe like only for 5 hours. That kind of schedule can be done. Maybe I might not require for for a whole day. I may require for the 3 to 4 hours. This kind of can be done in the Snowpipe. The reason
No,
why I'm asking is that,
it can't be done.
yes.
It's like once you set up the file, whenever the file comes, it automatically processes. Because as soon as the file comes, Snowflake understands that this file has to be processed, and it processes it using its own compute resources.
Okay.
You cannot schedule, say my Snowpipe has to be activated this time and that time. No.
Okay. Why I'm asking is that, see, if you take a Dream 11 also, see, somewhere the data may be come from one place to another place, so it may require only between something around 4 to 11 o'clock. So that's the reason I ask whether we have something job scheduling or something.
No, we cannot schedule. Snowpipe itself is for continuous data load. If it is a scheduling, you could have, let's say you want to schedule 1 hour. You can use the copy command itself, scheduling 1 hour. When there is no proper schedule, when there are irregular intervals of time, or you wanted to process small files continuously whenever they come, there is no particular schedule. Then you use Snowpipe.
Okay, I can stop, right? If I'm not required, I can stop, right? That option should be available, right?
Yeah, you can stop it anytime.
At any time, point of time. Okay, understood. Okay, Satya, got it.
Let us see through the UI how it works. If you go to the databases, let me say ingest data. There is something called pipes. Let me say create a pipe. I'm giving a test pipe. It asks from which schema you wanted to. Then next, select the data source. It is asked whether it's an internal stage or external stage. Let's say internal stage. Use the file format. Ingest data, public, customer. This is the table you wanted to load. You can create a pipe. The pipeline. There is no auto ingest when you do it on your local, for the files on your local system or your stage, internal stage. But if you do the same thing, observe here, I did it on an internal stage. You can see a pipe is created as a copy into. There is no auto ingest. Same thing if I do it on an external stage. Let me repeat the same process. When I select the stage, now I'll use this stage, my S3 stage, which is nothing but reference to the URL. Now here it says enable auto ingest. If I would have shown you, it already created. But if you see, here you can see Here you can see auto ingest is equal to true. So this auto ingest is equal to true is applicable for your external stages. For internal stages, though you create an internal stage and let's say I am loading a file in my local drive. Okay. So your Snowpipe will not work along with your internal stage. You have to process that manually. Your Snowpipe right now, auto ingest is enabled only with your external stages. Because your external stages are nothing but they are connected to either Amazon, Azure, or GCP. They themselves has their own notification mechanisms. That is why it works only with the external stages. Any questions on Snowpipe?
So, this this is only for structured data only, or we can it do for unstructured that kind of also?
No, your voice is breaking, Venkat. Vinod, same for you.
I'm so can you hear now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So this Snowpipe, just I'm asking, is only for Snowpipe is only for the structured data, or can we do for unstructured, semi-structured kind of data also?
You can do even for semi-structured data. It will load into a variant column. That's it. Because your table you are going, it's going to load it into a table. You created a like column with a variant data type, it loads into the variant data type.
Okay.
Nothing is going to change, right? It's nothing but you are copying to command. Your table itself you create with a variant data type. Okay, and you copy it into the table. You're just going to say copy into the table from the stage, and it is going to be variant data type. You're going to mention what will be the file format. Here it is going to be like JSON or ORC, Parquet, anything. These are the semi-structured files.
Okay.
Okay. Any more questions on Snowpipe?
So maybe just to real time, or are you using so this just to real time scenario? Are you using in real time in
Which
your
one?
projects?
Snowpipe? At least personally, I'm not using, but many projects use. As I said, that scenario, right? Then you have to use Snowpipe. I have given you in the report if you want to be refreshed or if the data has to be shown immediately. That is when only we go for the Snowpipe. Most of the projects run on a batch load.
Okay, got it.
Anyway, I think we don't have time today for this. Let us talk about network policy. Very simple thing. You go to your accounts.
Maybe Snowpipe, that's all. Satish, is there anything
Nothing.
that's all completed?
Yes. If you see, right, Snowpipe is nothing but a copy command, right? It's whatever is applicable for a copy command applies even for Snowpipe. Okay. Nothing changes. All whatever is the file format. Basic first thing. Now I have set up a Snowpipe. Now you can get a doubt. I have set this transaction pipe. What it was doing, it was loading into a transactions. I have already set this pipe. But if you go and select, I'm not sure why this meeting is ending in 10 minutes and all. I think the free trial account for the Zoom has been over. Not sure. Okay. Even if it ends, again we'll reconnect him. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. If you see, nothing is there in my table right now, but when you
Okay.
see the external stage, there are two files. If you see in the external stage, there are two files. But I created a pipe and all, nothing has happened. In this case, only after the pipe is created, when the new file comes, that is when the Snowpipe or the data will come into the tables. If you wanted to get this data or the files that are already present, you wanted to get the data of it, then manually you have to run the copy into command. Now two rows are loaded. I mean, two files are processed. After this only, whenever the third file comes, it processes. So if you wanted to process the files that are there in your external stage before the pipe is created, manually you have to run the copy into command. Clear?
Okay.
Okay. That's it with respect to Snowpipe. Or common questions you can get. Where can you get, how do you monitor the Snowpipe? Okay. We have something called a Snowpipe. If you wanted to even have a Snowpipe with respect to your local system, then there is something called a Snow API. Okay, using that API also, you can, like, APIs would have been something like, using that API, you can do the same Snowpipe thing in with your local system. Now, this is something like commonly used questions in the interviews or use cases. There is a load history. Okay, let's say you are using a Snowpipe. You wanted to check how many files are processed, okay, or how many files have failed. If you go to this copy history, this load history, sorry, if you copy this, if you check this load history, it gives you the files that are failed and processed. That is with respect to your copy command, not with respect to Snowpipe. With respect to Snowpipe, we have to go for the copy history. And you can see what are the error messages, what is the status, what is the pipe catalog name, with respect to each pipe, what files have been processed, what files have been failed, that can be used in the copy history. Another difference. Okay, someone asks you, where do you monitor what files have been processed and what files have been failed? Go and check this copies. It has, but with respect to each pipe, how many, with respect to each pipe, you can see how many files have been processed and how many files have been failed. We have a file name, okay, and we have a pipe name. Okay. Any questions here?
Yeah, it's okay, Satish.
I'm not sure why the meeting is ending in 5 minutes and all. I think I will ask Armugam to change this connection. I think free trial or something would have been in. Let us go to the network. Go to your account section. there is something called this network policy is nothing but you can allow certain IP addresses and you can block certain IP. This is kind of your data protection, or this is part of your data governance with respect to network. What I will do is I will end the meeting here and again I will rejoin so that I can complete for network itself. We can have a separate recording. Okay, let us rejoin it. That will help. Okay, Vinod Venkat, please rejoin.
Okay.